Hey guys, Connor here at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Ox Patriot breakaway switch for our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So as we can see here, we have our breakaway switch mounted up in the front of the vehicle. Now a breakaway switch in nature is going to provide a connection point between the towed vehicle and the tow vehicle. And what this is going to do is, should the towed vehicle ever come disconnected from the towed vehicle, that's going to allow us to still apply the brakes in our towed vehicle via the supplemental braking system. Now this one in particular is going to be specific to the Blue Ox Patriot braking system. There's going to be a plug on the inside, which we can show you in a minute. That's again going to be specific to that particular braking system. So it's going to apply the brakes with that braking system should the towed vehicle become disconnected from the tow vehicle. So a couple reasons you might be looking at this breakaway switch. Number one, like this customer here, they had a Blue Ox Patriot braking system installed on another vehicle. They got a new vehicle, so they wanted to get a new install kit to allow them to use that system without buying a brand new one. So that's why we installed this one. Another reason may be that you have multiple tow vehicles that you want to be able to use the Blue Ox braking system in each. So in this case, we would just have one on each vehicle, so you wouldn't have to transfer the install kit back and forth each time. So just to show you the plug inside the vehicle, for example, we have our Patriot braking system. We see here the port label Breakaway. This is going to be the plug from the breakaway switch that goes in the vehicle, and it just plugs in like so. So here we have the actual breakaway switch as well as our pin. So if and when the towed vehicle comes detached from the tow vehicle, this pin is going to pull outward because we're going to have the other end of this lanyard attached to the towed vehicle. So once this pulls outward, this is going to send power to our supplemental braking system, and it's going to know to apply the brakes. Now I like this little lanyard here because it's coiled, so we don't have to worry about it dragging the ground, and it can easily reach the tow vehicle. So in regards to our installation process, this is going to be very, very simple. There's going to be an easy to use grommet, which we're going to show you later in the video, and everything is just going to be plug and play from there. We have one connector which needs to remain inside the vehicle, and one which needs to be routed to the front where the breakaway switch is located. So let's go ahead and show you how easy this is to install yourself. Now to start our installation here, we want to come inside the vehicle. We want to get our cord here with our two ends. We see one has sort of an auxiliary connection here. We see one has the Blue Ox 2-pin connection. So this one is going to connect to the breakaway switch, so we're going to need to mount that to the front of the vehicle, and this one is going to stay in the vehicle to connect to our braking system. So what we need to do is we need to find a grommet in the firewall to route this in through so we can get it to the front of the vehicle. So the grommet that we're going to be using is going to be located on the driver's side of the vehicle up underneath the dash here. Now we did take this panel off here, however you don't need to take that off. We removed this when we were installing our 12-volt outlet kit, which is required for this vehicle if we're using a portable braking system. So what we want to do is we want to get under the dash here so I can show you the grommet we're going to be using. Now it might be a little bit hard for you to see, but we're going to essentially follow our brake pedal here all the way up, and we're going to go to the left at the top of the mount here, and we're going to see a grommet here in the firewall. Now as you can see now, we already have a cord routed through this grommet. Normally that grommet would be closed off, there wouldn't be a hole, but what we can do is take a trim panel tool and pop that out. Then we can drill our hole in it and we can route our wires through there, or we could just remove the grommet altogether so we can route our wires. So since we already have the hole drilled, I'm just going to go ahead and poke that end of the connector through there, feed the wires up there. And now we can go on the other side and try to fish those out. Now as we can see here, we have our cord for our breakaway switch, which comes out the grommet. Now we have two options from here. Option one, we could go straight down and then mount it forward towards the fascia. However, down there is going to be where our Y pipe is. We have a lot of exhaust piping, so it's not going to be the best place to route it. Instead, we're going to continue up here along the inside of the fender well, come up here to the radiator where this AC conditioner line is, and we're going to drop it straight down, and then we can run it over to our breakaway switch. Actually appears to be a little clip right here we could probably lose. Got another clip here. Just getting a small screwdriver and trying to pry that open. Just like that. So we can take our other wire, route it through there, close our clip. So we see we have a little clip here as well. Just going to push that in there. Then the wire is going to come out here, We're going to drop it down somewhere along here. I think I see a little opening here. So now we're just going to take our pull wire here. I can see a small opening here I'm going to aim for. Just going to try to fish it down through the frame, in the engine bay here, I should say. Looks like we got it down there. We're going to take the end here, and we're going to tape the end of our connector for the breakaway switch to this. Electrical tape works best for this. And once we get this all taped up, we can go below, pull this through, so we have our connector ran down under the fascia where we need it. Just like so. And again, now we can go down below and pull this through. So we can see our pull wire here. We're going to have to pull that through. A nice little gap here. And we want to be gentle when we're pulling our wire. Perfect. Yep. There's our connector. I think actually, just real quick, take the tape off the end of here. I see a way we can route it a little bit better. We're actually going to come outside the line here. I think that'll be a little bit better way to run this. So yeah, we have a couple attachment points here. I think I'll put some zip ties there to secure the wire. It looks like we're going to have some excess. Then I'm actually going to use this tab. Yeah, I'm going to use this tab right here. We already have a hole drilled, which is attached to the metal bumper. So I'm going to go ahead and take that screw out, and I'm going to mount our breakaway switch on that. And then I'm going to tie up the rest of the wires here and secure it to that little tab there. Now we're going to remove this 7mm screw here. We can take our breakaway switch. We're going to mount it like this. Just put it up there. Like so. Take our screw here. Perfect. So now we can go ahead, take our wire from the back here, make our connection. And as stated, we have some excess, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over a couple times. And then I'm going to take a zip tie and zip tie it to these holes for this tab here. And we can see here, I just had 2 zip ties right here, which is going to secure the excess. And that's going to do it for the look at the Blue Ox Breakaway kit for our 2020 Jeep Gladiator.